WVII Bangor.
From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, 2 people were killed in Bangor yesterday in what police are calling a domestic incident. Plus, human remains that were found off the coast of Maine over 2 decades ago have finally been identified. And there will be big changes in the leadership of the Maine CDC. These stories and more coming up on Good Morning Maine. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Let's get a first check of that rainy and snowy forecast. Devin Biggs joins us now.
First weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We have winter storm warnings in effect until about 1 o'clock later this afternoon for areas highlighted here because of accumulating snow expected and some other frozen precipitation that could fall as well. Before we switch over to all rain, we're also watching this winter weather advisory that's up for some areas until later on this morning as well, as we're also going to be watching out for any precipitation. I'll switch over to all rain. We've had some frozen precipitation, and now we're starting to see a switch over. No surprise either, aerial flood watch is in effect for a few counties until later this afternoon because of the heavy rain that's currently moving through, with gale warnings also up until 6 p.m. So wind, rain, and precipitation will be the general issue here as we watch all this moving through. We started out as a little bit of snow earlier this morning, now switching over to all rain and maybe some other types of precipitation further off towards the north. With the warmer air advecting in, we'll continue to see this moving and switching over to all rain as it does develop. Let's zoom things out right now. This is currently a bigger picture here, tracking from the southwest, going toward the north and east. Most of this will start to taper off a little bit as we head towards the afternoon period, but later on the extended forecast period, more active weather will be on the way. Our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of rain, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. Bangor police found 2 people dead inside a mobile home on G Street while responding to what they called a domestic incident. Our Matthew Juroncic has more on the investigation.
Bangor police and fire department were called to 16 G Street around 10:30 Thursday morning after a 911 call was made regarding a domestic violence incident.
3-9, got another pop inside the trailer.
I can confirm that we have 2 deceased people inside of one of the residents here, an adult female and adult male.
A neighbor off camera told us that a nearby resident called 911 after hearing noises coming from the home. Bangor police and fire department then arrived to the scene, followed by the bomb squad and the evidence response team. One person told us he heard gunshots while moving his friend out.
Kind of gave a look down, and then a few minutes later, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, heard a couple shots. They asked, "What do you think that was?" That was gunfire.
Others heard police enter the home before finding the 2 deceased.
I was just headed for the garage when I heard a boom, and I'm like, "Ooh, what was that?" So I walked down the dooryard, and that's when I see the cops had the weapons drawn, and they had the robot was banging the side of the house, and finally it punched a hole through the side of the house.
Residents say an incident like this is unexpected in their neighborhood.
It's very nice, very quiet, it's very secluded. You have hardly any disturbances here.
In Bangor, Matthew Juroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
The Maine Medical Examiner's Office has identified human remains found in the ocean more than 2 decades ago as a Las Vegas man. Officials say the remains discovered 27 miles off the coast on July 24th, 2000, belonged to 84-year-old Philip Kahn, who was reported missing that same year. It's unclear how Kahn ended up in New England waters. He disappeared after flying to New York City. There were several attempts to identify the body with DNA and fingerprints over the years before a match was made through the FBI's Deceased Persons Identification Services Division. Frontline workers in Washington County are working hard to solve a growing crisis across the state. Devin Dagnall has the story.
EMT crews across Washington County have assembled in Columbia Falls in an attempt to fight the ongoing EMT crisis. According to Rick Petrie, the Chief Operations Officer for Northeast Mobile Health, a shortage of workers or money has been exacerbated in the county because of its size and remoteness. And when time is so valuable trying to save lives, they need to fix this problem. The EMT stations and residents of Washington County have created a committee that will work to find solutions to their problems.
Our ambulance services are struggling, and we've reached crisis proportion with a couple of them who've said that if they don't have a solution, they need to close their doors.
During the meeting, many of the representatives for each EMS group mentioned funding and lack of pay as some of the biggest issues their crews face. According to Nancy Parrott, the service representative of Petit Manan Ambulance Corps, funding continues to be an issue for many of the EMS crews in Washington County because they don't receive an adequate amount of funding from their town, which is worsened by the fact that many insurance agencies only cover up to 85% of an ambulance bill. This leads stations to cut corners on equipment and staffing. The lack of staffing makes it so many personnel compensate by working up to and beyond 80 hours a week just to serve their community.
Well, this conversation needed to be had decades ago. This is going to open up doors between town officials and ambulance services, opening their eyes, educating them on the lack of insurance reimbursements that we get and the need for a subsidy from the towns in order for us to stay in business.
Although the large consensus from the meeting was that crews need to receive more funding to relieve the crisis, it was not the only proposed solution. Lewis Pinkham, the town manager for Millbridge, believes that crews need to focus more on recruitment.
I do not believe that money is going to be the solution to this. I think we need to get more younger people involved, whether it's in EMS, law enforcement, dispatch.
In Columbia Falls, Devin Dagnall for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The director of the Maine CDC is leaving. Dr. Nirav Shah has been appointed Principal Deputy Director at the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. He will be second in leadership under U.S. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky. Shah will assume his new post in March. Governor Janet Mills sent out a statement saying, in part, quote, he was a trusted advisor and a leader to the Maine people during one of the greatest public health crises of our time. Day after day, week after week, Dr. Shah spoke calmly and directly to the people of Maine, many of whom were scared and uncertain. He delivered to us the unvarnished truth, as best we knew it, and answered our questions with compassion, empathy, humor, and a clarity that gave us much-needed hope in our darkest days. I strongly believe that Maine's nation-leading success in confronting the pandemic is due in large part to Dr. Shah's leadership, and there's no doubt in my mind that he saved the lives of many people. The time is now 6:07. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll take an in-depth look at the closure of a local business in Bangor. But first, let's take another look at that forecast. Heavy rain is likely throughout the day today, as you may be experiencing already. Highs of around 50 degrees, dropping down to 28 tonight. That rain is turning into a wintry mix. It's going to be more of a mess tonight and into tomorrow, where wintry mix is continuing on. High of 33 degrees tomorrow.
2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
The student murders.
It was so terrifying.
New reporting, new interviews.
Did Kaylee ever talk to you about a potential stalker?
She did.
She did.
Tonight on ABC.
Big trucks rule the road. They're dangerous and they can cause big, bad injuries. But the big trucking companies don't stand a chance against me. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
You bet your life. We're big talent. Teams up to win big.
Weekdays at 10 on ABC7.
This week on Jeopardy!
I will bet the whole shebang. The whole shebang. A true daily double.
And we go back 25 years.
What did he come up with? Who is Max? Who is Max?
Max is my 9-year-old.
To introduce you to Max. Will he make his father proud?
All this week at 7:30, only on ABC7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Bangor City Councilors have come up with a proposal on how to spend $20 million in COVID relief funds. City Council Chair Rick Fournier says housing is a big priority. He says roughly $5 million has been dedicated to housing, including expanding low-income and workforce housing. It will also help the city's homeless population. Money has also been allocated for broadband, childcare, a social worker for the Bangor Public Library, and public health service initiatives. Fournier says the council wanted to help as many Bangor citizens as they possibly could with the money.
We've been very deliberate on how we got going. I know there are a bunch of towns and cities across the United States that have already spent it all. We wanted to be a lot more thoughtful.
The money must be allocated by December 2024, and it must be spent by December of 2026. A lot of Mainers will be getting an unanticipated bonus in the mail. The Treasurer's Office is sending out checks to 54,000 people that total roughly $4 million. The money comes from unclaimed property, which consists of money and other financial assets that are considered lost or abandoned when an owner cannot be located after a specific time of inactivity. It includes things like bank accounts, unpaid wages, uncashed checks, life insurance policies, and safe deposit box contents. No action is required for the Mainers to get their money. Treasurer Henry Beck says by using data matching on names and addresses from Governor Mills' inflation relief program, they were able to find more than 54,000 people with unclaimed property. Checks in amounts ranging from $10 to $1,500 will be mailed out beginning next week. A group of 400 people have unclaimed property in amounts over $1,500 that require additional paperwork. Beck says they will be reaching out to those people in the coming days. A Bangor used auto parts business has permanently closed. David Ledford has the story.
Kenny Upol in Bangor announced their closure in a Facebook post on January 11th. Customers say that the auto parts store had become a staple for motorists from around the state. For some, the news of their departure came as a shock.
I'm sorry to see them close. It's going to be a big cutback. A lot of people coming in here and getting parts because they're always busy.
Kenny Upol has several stores across Canada, but this location was the only one in Maine. According to the company website, customers were able to pick and remove their own replacement parts from used and damaged cars at an affordable cost. The abrupt loss of this feature has led to frustrations for longtime customers.
Price of auto parts is going to go right up through the roof because you have to pay somebody else to remove them versus remove them yourself. It's big inconvenience.
However, some Mainers say that their biggest concern is unused gift cards, which were only valid at the Bangor location.
Some people, they have gift certificates for this place. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen on those. I feel bad for those people. It's just going to be a big inconvenience.
Kenny Upol has urged customers looking to sell their used cars to head to AIM Recycling, which is next door to the former business. Company representatives declined to comment on the reason for the closure. In Bangor, David Ledford for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The time is now 6:13. After the break, we'll hear from a local nonprofit that has put out a request for a certain type of donations. We'll be right back with the details.
This is the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder and Rogue. With a range of drive modes, you can take a Sunday stroll in the least basic of places.
Get 1.9% financing for 36 months on Rogue.
When it comes to winter footwear, warmth, waterproof, and safety matter most. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport and discover the latest in winter boot technology. We've got boots rated from -60 to 0 degrees Fahrenheit to keep your feet warm in any weather. Check out the new materials guaranteed to keep your feet dry. Relieve the anxiety of slipping and falling this winter with the new Navitech with grippers built right into the sole. Just flip it and clip it and you're ready to go. Be prepared this winter. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard-to-buy-for relative. So come visit us today. Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
This is the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder and Rogue. With a range of drive modes, you can take a Sunday stroll in the least basic of places.
Get 1.9% financing for 36 months on Rogue.
The Bangor Humane Society has put out a call for help on their Facebook page. The favorite food of many of the cats and dogs, canned wet food, is in very low supply. This is one of the supplies that they run out of very quickly because it's used as a daily meal, and they frequently seek donations for it. They also have put out there that they're running low on blankets for the dogs, which would make a great donation now as well. If you're able to help, you can drop items off in person or visit their Facebook page to find their Amazon wish list and have supplies delivered right to their door. Some areas of the state are waking up to rain this morning, while others had snowfall accumulation overnight. That's the case for Big Moose Township, north of Greenville, which is home to the Big Squaw Mountain ski area. The Friends of the Mountain is a nonprofit group that provides upkeep to the ski area, and they posted on their Facebook page yesterday that they'll be open Saturday, Sunday, and Monday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. As many of us know by now, it's been a tough season so far for businesses in the state that specialize in winter recreational activities, with many ski areas not being able to make snow because of high temperatures. And make sure to check in with their Facebook page to see if they're still open. The rain may still yet win over the snow today and tomorrow. And on that note, let's take a look at the live cam from Greenville Junction to ensure they really do have that snowfall. And it looks like they do. That doesn't look like any rain. It may be a wintry mix because that's what we're getting here in Bangor, where I'm located right now. But hey, it looks like it. Plenty of snowy activities today, tomorrow, and hopefully over the weekend as well to take advantage of. So that's good. We'll be back with more. Whoops.
Create the perfect spaces in your home for 2023 at the Furniture Gallery. Entertain in style this year with a new dining set. Have room for everyone on movie nights with a big sectional with extra seating. Feel more rested with a new mattress from Serta, Restonic, or Nectar from the Furniture Gallery. Kick back and save an extra 10% on our entire recliner selection and save up to 70% off clearance items. Support our main family-owned business and save money. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, Newport, and North Windham.
Wow, like the kids, the bills are getting bigger every month.
I know. From childcare to heat to electric. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We need to cut. Let's pay this one next month.
Not sure we can. We already cut everything. And now electricity prices are going up because natural gas prices are up.
What are we gonna do? We need help.
I heard that the PUC's website has information about financial assistance and conservation programs.
We've never asked for help before.
I know.
But this year things are different.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order statewide. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
I tried everything to remove fabric odors, but my clothes still smelled. Until I finally found New Downy Rinse and Refresh.
Just add to your fabric softener tray. It doesn't just cover odors, it helps remove them up to 3 times better than detergent alone. Try New Downy Rinse and Refresh.
The law.
I've been a judge for 40 years. Don't waste my time.
If you break it,
You didn't pay rent.
you'll pay for it.
It's my show. Nobody cares whether you have a personality or not.
Weeknights at 5 on ABC 7.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine on ABC 7. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Thank you very much. Your full weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater area. All right, here we go. We do have winter storm warnings up until about 1 o'clock later this afternoon, being indicated by these areas indicated in the pink because of some additional snowfall. that could take place, and the slippery roads as we could see some frozen precipitation as we transition from snow over to rain. And that's why we do also have winter weather advisories up for some areas until later this morning, and other areas not under anything as we're switching over to plain old rain. But we're also watching some flooding issues taking place. We have aerial flood watches in effect until later this afternoon, with gale warnings lasting until later this evening as gusty winds on top of the precipitation will continue to exist. Here's a look at the radar right now. Look at all the active weather currently taking place right now. Most of us have switched over to mainly rain, but it's farther out towards the north. We have a little bit of other frozen precipitation and eventually some snow. Northern parts of the state seeing a good amount of snow at this point. We'll throw the radar into motion. It's really gotten going over the last little while. And of course, the darker the shade of blue is, that's the heavier the snow. Of course, farther down toward the south, some decent rainfall also taking place with inches of rainfall possible before we're all finished up. As we're watching this area, low pressure located right about in here, track off towards the east. It'll hang around for a while too, because we'll catch a few breaks, but more active weather could possibly move in the extended forecast period. So Futurecast showing this rain continuing to move through today with some breaks developing during the afternoon and evening time frame, so it won't be raining all the time. By tomorrow morning, though, we may have to watch for a little bit of precipitation. This model doesn't quite show it as well. We'll have to watch for a little bit more of a wintry mix of precipitation. I'll try to move back on shore from time to time. It tries to show it just a bit, but as we head towards Saturday morning, a wintry mix could take place yet again. But otherwise, most of Saturday will be mostly cloudy, maybe a few breaks in the clouds from time to time. But this is kind of the general idea that we're going to be watching on for. Another wave of energy looks to move in as we head towards Sunday night. A little bit of a wintry mix possible with that. Lasting through at least Monday, I'm kind of worried about some other frozen precipitation falling here too, so roads may be slippery as we head towards Monday morning and lasting through Monday night into Tuesday before that wave moves out of here as we head towards Tuesday morning. So again, additional rainfall looks a little bit like this, an additional ½ to an inch of rain on top of what we've already received before we're all finished up. This kind of counts any melted down snow at this point as well. And any additional snowfall will mainly be in the northern ends of the state where inches of snow could fall there. But most of us just about done with temperatures that are well above freezing at this point. Wave heights are well up there as well, ranging from around 10 to 11 feet according to the buoys out there. So this is why gale warnings are currently in effect. Forecast for today, 50 degrees, rain likely, areas of dense fog, south wind gusting up to around 30 miles per hour at times. 28 degrees tonight, rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, and fog on the way. North wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 33 degrees, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow again. North wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Ansley Moore. We're partly cloudy on Sunday with highs in the upper 20s, lower 30s, Martin Luther King Day with the wintry mix and now moving in. We keep that wintry mix going on Tuesday, highs in the mid-30s.
Thank you, Devin. A pandemic trend of tech companies giving their customers what they need to make repairs at home instead of making them visit retail shops and pay technicians is now law in one state. Fox's Eben Brown has more in this edition of our Fox on Tech series.
Broken phone? Need a battery or a screen? What about that tablet or smartwatch? Did you buy a protection plan? Getting your tech fixed often means going to a company store like Apple's or an authorized service shop. But then came COVID, and most of those businesses, like so many others, were shuttered. But that didn't mean you were doomed to an eternally spiderweb cracked screen or unchargeable electronics. Companies began to send out or rent out tools, parts, and instructions to customers who would do it themselves. And to everyone's amazement, they learned that fixing things isn't always difficult or expensive. People liked this idea and wanted it as a post-pandemic option to get things fixed fast and cheap. And that's why New York State passed a new law aiming to guarantee a, quote, right to repair.
There are a lot of carve-outs here that make older devices as well as some more industrial or business products not applicable under the law. Ultimately, this is for consumers more than it is for businesses.
And it goes beyond phones and wearables. Just recently, the American Farm Bureau Federation struck a deal with John Deere, maker of agricultural equipment like tractors. Now the company will help facilitate do-it-yourself repair in exchange for the farming lobby not pursuing a right-to-repair law.
Now, even New York's right-to-repair law has its critics who say it doesn't do anything to stop manufacturers from requiring people buy large quantities of replacement parts, as if they, too, are a repair shop. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
The ripple effects continuing following Wednesday's nationwide air traffic ground stop. Lawmakers from both parties are now demanding to know what the airline industry did with $54 billion in taxpayer-funded COVID relief during the pandemic and another $25 billion in subsidized loans. Fox's Chad Pergram takes a look from Capitol Hill.
A perplexed Congress after a cascade of air travel snafus. The most recent, the first complete airline ground stop since 9/11, thanks to crashing computers.
This is a major problem. We can't have this again.
Lawmakers question how a catastrophic technical failure could paralyze air travel.
How could a stable platform like that suddenly go down? Were there no backups?
Lawmakers are now on the hook to pay for significant equipment upgrades.
There's a real opportunity here with the FAA reauthorization bill to fund the appropriate technologies to make sure that the government is doing their part.
Flight cancellations are double what they were 5 years ago. Delayed flights the highest since 2018, even though the industry scored nearly $79 billion in COVID cash. Lawmakers defended the aid.
The money that Congress approved for the airlines was to keep people employed at the airlines during the pandemic.
But money is only one issue.
The biggest problem is right now is we don't have any leadership in the FAA.
President Biden nominated Philip Washington to run the FAA, renominated him last week, but bipartisan senators shelved his confirmation. Washington has an abbreviated aviation resume, and he faces scrutiny in a public corruption probe. Lawmakers may blame the FAA and the airlines for the debacle, but air travel advocates say Congress bears some responsibility, greenlighting mergers like U.S. Airways and United, Northwest and Delta.
Many of us were warning the industry is becoming too big to fail. Well, that argument is over now. It is too big to fail.
Airline experts say the crisis will compel Congress to allocate even more dollars for aviation. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
The community is seeking answers and justice after the Los Angeles Police Department released body cam footage of a black man being held down and tased 6 times. This video is unsettling and might not be suitable for all viewers. In the graphic video, police are seen stopping Keenan Anderson after he was accused of causing a traffic collision. Anderson is held to the ground by police officers and tased 6 times. He can be heard crying out for help and saying, quote, "They're trying to George Floyd me." Anderson was taken to a nearby hospital where he later died. Allegedly suffering cardiac arrest, Anderson happens to be the cousin of Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors. The local BLM co-founder spoke out on the incident, while police say the investigation is ongoing.
They're trying to George Floyd me. They're trying to George Floyd me. And guess what happened? They did. The community is rising up and we're saying we're not going to take this.
In my preliminary review of this incident, it's unclear what that role of that taser was. To be clear, it's dependent on the totality of our investigative resources, but also the medical records from the hospital, as well as the coroner's report and their formal and forensic level examination.
Keenan Anderson was reportedly a Los Angeles native who recently moved to Washington, D.C. He was a teacher and a father. An independent prosecutor has been called in to look at the sitting commander-in-chief. It's the second time the Department of Justice has needed to jump in to address the potential mishandling of classified documents. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports the latest from Washington.
Attorney General Merrick Garland announced an investigation into his boss Thursday. The White House says it's cooperating, but the president is facing a lot of heat. A special counsel will look into those classified documents found at President Biden's former D.C. office and Delaware home.
This appointment underscores for the public the department's commitment to both independence and accountability.
The news came hours after the president confirmed documents were discovered in a garage at his Wilmington residence.
It's not like you're sitting out in the street.
President Biden's attorneys had notified the Justice Department about that second batch in December. Yet the president did not disclose that information on Tuesday while giving his first public comments about the initial set of classified files that were recovered in November. Still, the White House insists
we have been transparent here.
The president says he doesn't know what's in the records, which the White House says were likely inadvertently misplaced.
Joe Biden should know better. I'm glad his Corvette was locked in the garage, but that is not an excuse for having classified documents in that same building.
There are now 2 special counsels looking into classified documents, one for President Biden and another for former President Trump.
I think Merrick Garland made the right choice to have the same standard to do separate special counsels here.
At least one Democrat, though, is skeptical of President Biden's findings.
Things can be planted in places and then discovered conveniently. That may be what has occurred here.
An investigation could be a significant setback for the president's potential 2024 run, as he also tries to fend off a number of Republican-led congressional probes. In Washington, Mallory Rivera, Fox News.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll have the community calendar for local events going on tonight and this weekend. We'll be right back.
Suffer from pain? You're not alone. Omega XL can help. For years, Robin lived with severe pain in her ankles, knees, and back.
I had so much pain in my knees that stooping was not one of the things that I could do anymore. I just thought it was age because I've gotten older.
Then she found Omega XL, a powerful natural supplement. 30 years of research show it relieves joint and muscle pain caused by inflammation. It's small, easy to swallow with no fishy aftertaste. Omega XL, a unique extract from the green lip mussels of New Zealand.
The moment I started using Omega XL, there was such a change and such a difference. I didn't realize that it was happening until I was squatting down, till I was running up and down the stairs. It has revived me.
Why struggle with pain in your back, neck, knees, or elbows? Turn to the powerful solution that millions have trusted to relieve their pain and get their life back. Omega XL, the one-of-a-kind natural supplement that helps reduce joint pain due to inflammation. Join the many Omega XL success stories.
I found this product, and it's called Omega XL. I mean, I can't tell you how great I feel. I mean, this works.
Because I'm taking Omega XL, it allows me to live life to the fullest.
Omega XL has given me my life back. Omega XL works.
I want anybody who's having pain in their knees, their back, your joints, try it. I'm telling you about it. I'm telling you about something that's gonna change your life if you'll try it.
Call now or go to OmegaXL.com/Robin. And when you buy 1 bottle of Omega XL, get another absolutely free. That's 2 bottles for only $39.95. Order right now and we'll also include a bottle of Vitamin XL D3 for whole body health, absolutely free on your first order. We're so confident in the effectiveness of Omega XL that we back it up with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Order now and get 2 bottles of Omega XL plus Vitamin XL D3 for only $39.95. Act now.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine on ABC 7 and happy Friday. Let's check in with Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
First weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We have winter storm warnings in effect until about 1 o'clock later this afternoon for areas highlighted here because of accumulating snow expected and some other frozen precipitation that could fall as well. Before we switch over to all rain, we're also watching this winter weather advisory that's up for some areas until later on this morning as well, as we're also going to be watching out for any precipitation. I'll switch over to all rain. We've had some frozen precipitation, and now we're starting to see a switch over. No surprise either, aerial flood watch is in effect for a few counties until later this afternoon because of the heavy rain that's currently moving through, with gale warnings also up until 6 p.m. So wind, rain, and precipitation will be the general issue here as we watch all this moving through. We started out as a little bit of snow earlier this morning, now switching over to all rain and maybe some other types of precipitation further off towards the north. With the warmer air advecting in, we'll continue to see this moving and switching over to all rain as it does develop. Let's zoom things out right now. This is currently a bigger picture here, tracking from the southwest, going toward the north and east. Most of this will start to taper off a little bit as we head towards the afternoon period, but later on the extended forecast period, more active weather will be on the way. Our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of rain, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. Now let's check in and see what the community calendar looks like for today and this weekend. All right, so today is Friday, January 13th, and tonight there's an open mic at Bangor Arts Exchange from 7 p.m. through 9 p.m. That's in Bangor. It's an acoustic version of an open mic hosted by Julia Steer, who sings for the band Sullen Eyes. It's all ages, no cover, donations are welcome. Take the stage or take a seat and enjoy the local talent. Carrie Richardson Benefit Dinner tonight at Franklin Veterans Club at 5:30. There will be tacos, raffles, a 50-50, a night of karaoke. Donations for dinner accepted at the door, all to benefit Carrie, who was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. Artful Adornments timed auction at the Thomaston Place Auction Galleries, 12 p.m. through 7 p.m. daily through January 25th. Vintage accents bring an assortment of vintage decor, pottery, fine art, lighting, furniture, books, porcelain, and more. Indoor story time for preschool-age kids at the Camden Public Library today at 10 a.m. through 11 a.m. Make sure to double-check if it's still going on because of the weather. The children's librarian, Miss Amy, will lead the story hour. Maine men's hockey versus UMass Lowell at the Alfond Arena in Orono tonight at 7 p.m. Acoustic Thursday with Vinny and Dylan at the Penobscot Poorhouse tonight in Bangor at 7:30. That goes until 10:30. Father and son team provides the bar with acoustic jams. And night roller skating at the Dexter Town Hall at 6 p.m. tonight. All right, and Pokemon Day tomorrow. This is all these things are tomorrow, Saturday, January 14th. Pokemon Day at Bangor Comic and Toy Con in the Bangor Mall, 11 a.m. through 5 p.m. Trading, learning, playing, a tournament, and more. $10 door fee to get the whole family in. Kickboxing and self-defense class tomorrow at Eye Candy Dance and Fitness Studio in downtown Bangor. It's at 3 p.m. It covers basic striking and kicks. It's just an amazing workout, so make sure to register in advance for that one. Soap School Beginner Soap Making at the Starbird Farm in Machiasport at 1 p.m. through 4 p.m. Students will learn the safety and process of soap making and will make their very own soap to take home. Class does use the ingredient lye, so this session is not safe for kids. Register in advance. Limited class space available. Cost is $75. All supplies provided. $2 community yoga at the Gatherings in Surrey at 9 a.m. tomorrow. This one goes weekly, so you may have heard this one before if you hear about the community calendar weekly. Yoga for everyone. Yoga teachers will be there to provide help with poses and answer questions. And the Building Solutions Fair. We had Naomi on yesterday to talk about this. This is at the MDI High School tomorrow in Bar Harbor. It's at 9:30 and it goes until 1:30. There will be workshops throughout. You can learn more about efficiency improvements like heat pumps, solar and weatherization, rebates and incentives from state and federal governments. To learn more, you can head to our website, foxbangor.com, to check out that interview from yesterday. And Creature from the Black Lagoon screening, one of my favorite classic horror movies of all time. This is at the Waterville Opera House tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. There's nothing like a good monster movie on the big screen. Also, it's 3D. Isn't that cool? And all right, Sunday activities. On Sunday, a benefit lunch for Steve Grindle at the Sorrento Sullivan Recreational. This is at noon. There will be soups, stews, chowders, and more to benefit Franklin Fire Department's Assistant Chief, Steve Grindle, who suffered a heart attack on Christmas Day. Annual Augusta Wedding Show at Augusta Civic Center on Sunday at 12 p.m. This goes until 3. This is a bridal show featuring the area's finest wedding professionals. Brides can enjoy a glass of complimentary champagne and catered appetizers with their fee of getting in. Local vendors will be ready to answer questions and book your dates. Tickets between $10 and $20. Lollipop races at Saddleback at the Mountain in Rangeley, 1 p.m. through 2 p.m. Weekly fun race down Roya Tiger Slope. This is for kids ages 12 and under. Free to participate. Just look for the signature lollipop signs and race flags. Awards presented at 2:30 p.m. on the deck at the Lodge. All right, still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have your latest with local sports.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating.
990-2200. Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
Living in Maine, many things stick with you throughout your life. If you're far from home or you're missing those things, then Box of Maine is for you. Shipping nationwide for corporate businesses or individuals, Box of Maine gives everyone their own personal taste of our great state. And a portion of every box we sell goes directly to local nonprofits. Have you visited the gift shop yet? Filled to the brim with everything you find in our boxes, you can pick what you need or even create your own box. Stop by for perfect Maine gifts today at Box of Maine.
Now what? You say it when things go wrong. At Prudential, we think you should say it when things go right, too. Like when you score your dream job, sell your business, or discover she's smart, really smart. Now what? Here's what. You connect with Prudential's rock-solid team serving over 50 million people with investment, insurance, and retirement know-how. Who's your rock? Visit Prudential.com or speak to an advisor today.
You know, I love me some good GMA in the morning. Robin, George, Michael, and GMA. Now that's how you start your day. Good morning, America.
Yep, bring your friends.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with the big stuff. NFL playoffs set to kick off this weekend, and the Patriots dropping some huge news on Thursday night. The team releasing a brief statement saying, in part, they've begun contract extension talks with defensive coach Jerod Mayo. The Pats saying they want to keep Mayo for the long term. In addition, Patriots also announcing, and you guys will be happy about this, they will begin interviewing for an offensive coordinator starting next week. All right, some big news there with the Patriots. Let's move to Orono. No border battle for Maine women's basketball on Wednesday due to illness in the UNH program, but Maine men's hoops took on the Wildcats at the Cross Center, and despite holding a first-half lead, they dropped their sixth straight, 71-58. So now they drop to 6-10 after starting the year 6-4. But it's not like they've been getting run out of the gym by any means. Of their last 4 losses, one was by 2 points to a conference favorite in UMass Lowell, a 1-point loss to Harvard in overtime. They fell to NJIT in overtime as well. So in order to get over that hump, they're really focusing on 3 things: consistency, execution, and discipline.
Yeah, we just need to be more consistent with our execution on both sides of the ball. I mean, anytime you're playing in 1, 2, 3 possession games, you're obviously doing some good things, but you're just not executing at a high enough level.
And just be more disciplined. We need to execute the full 40 minutes. We have to believe in each other, stick to the game plan. Coaching staff draws up a good game plan offensively and defensively. We just have to stay with it, execute, and just stay together.
They are back in action at UMBC this weekend down in Baltimore, looking to get back in the win column over the Cavaliers. Despite those recent struggles, Coach Mark Wood and the Black Bears are still confident they can win and end up in the top half of America East.
As frustrating as it's been, especially since we started league play, I definitely think there's a belief there. Our guys are still working hard. They believe that we can win those games and we can beat anybody in this league. Our thing as a group right now is it can't be lip service. We have to actually go out and talk and do it.
Back to the hardwood we go, a big night on the high school hoops scene, especially over at Brewer with a rematch of the Class A North championship game, which is looking to avenge their loss in the regional finals last year. Actually, it was their most recent loss. They're hosting the defending state champs in Nokomis. First quarter, we start. It's going to be Grady Hartsgrove on the inside. He's going to beat the buzzer with that lay-in. Nokomis down 11 after 1, and Brewer would step on the gas. Brock Flagg from the Hannaford parking lot, nothing but net. And then Brewer again, it's the big man Ryder Goodwin here, pull up mid-range. That's a bucket if you give him the space any day. Nokomis would fight though. Here's Connor Sides. He's gonna get to the lane and look at the circus shot. What a play. That's a little hook shot, a scoop shot from the point guard. Banks that one home, but Brewer was too much. Brady Saunders here. He's gonna be in the right place at the right time. He had a game high 27, 17 of them in the second half, which is win big. They're now 9-0. All right, let's stay on the court here for another team that's been a wagon to start the year. 10-0 Coyotes going up against John Bapst at the Cross Center. First quarter, Yotes on the break. Michaela Emerson finds Taylor Loring. She buries the triple from the corner. And then John Bapst now running their own fast break. It's Claire Gattani. She led her team with 8 points. Here's 2 of them. Nice move at the bucket. Here's Old Town again. Look at this ball movement. It's going to start with Sage Evans. They're going to swing it all the way around. She cuts baseline, and it ends with Sage Evans. She gets the bucket on the inside, and then it's going to be Loring again. She's doing it all by herself on the fast break. She had 21. Coyotes win 55-17. All right, let's go to the ice at Sawyer Arena now. Camden Hills against Hamden Academy and some boys hockey action. First period, it's Hamden's Tucker Leland. He gets in and snipes one top shelf. Nice celly, too. 1-0 Broncos. Still in the first period, Broncos. Matthew Shane hits Keith Brooks. He finds the back of the net. 2-0 Hamden Academy. To the second period we go with the Windjammers down 3-1. Puck is loose in front, but in comes Lucas Wyman to cash it in. That makes it 3-2. But late in the final frame, Hamden's Adrian Webb brings it down on the 2-on-1 break, gets it to Andrew Krause. Nice move at the net. He scores with a nice backhand. 4-2 Broncos. They'd hit the empty netter and win 5-2. All right, let's stay with hockey. Some girls' high school hockey action. The Cheverus Co-op facing the Penobscot Pioneers. Second period, Stags up 2-1. Michaela Talbot with a terrific move, but she gets robbed by freshman Abby DeRozier from Orono. Third period now, and keep your eyes on Jordan Williams. She goes coast to coast for the score. What a play right there. We are tied at 2 from the Brewer sophomore. Minutes later, Pioneers on the power play. Williams from behind the net, wheels in front, and fires it home. Little bank shot there. I know it's a basketball term. She had a hat trick on the night. And then here comes Emma McNeil, the senior out of Bangor. She's going to battle in front of the net for this goal. She also had 2 on the night. Pioneers hand Cheverus their first loss. 5-3 is the final. Big win for them there. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Living in Maine means long, cold winters and hot, humid summers. Whatever the weather, Bangor Heat Pumps is your solution. Open 24/7, Bangor Heat Pumps takes care of you at home or at work. We operate statewide and service all brands and models. Understanding moving can be stressful. We will help move any units you may have. We offer a veterans discount in our home with a Capeless Hero discount. Visit us online at BangorHeatPumpsLLC.com or call or text us at 307-7746. Bangor Heat Pumps.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
there's no reason to be overwhelmed.
No.
We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
What would you do if you won the Mega Millions jackpot? We've been having that conversation a lot this week, especially now that the jackpot is more than $1 billion. Fox's Danielle Miller takes a look with some children in Arizona who were willing to answer the question.
Although the students here at Fuller Elementary School in Tempe aren't old enough just yet to play the lottery, they are old enough to dream about what they would do with all that money. The Mega Millions jackpot soaring to more than $1 billion. This after Friday night's drawing yielded no winners. That is a lot of money, especially to some local third graders.
And if you had that much money, if somebody says, hey, you just won $1 billion, what's the first thing you'd buy?
I would buy like a big mansion and then a Louis Vuitton bag. I'll buy a private jet, donate some money to charity and to my family. But then I would also visit Puerto Rico to visit my family because my family is big.
I'd probably go to San Diego or somewhere.
Go on the beach. Where would you go?
Disneyland.
Disneyland, all right.
I might also get the world's greatest toy.
While those are all splurge-worthy purchases, most of the students said the thing that they would do most with all of that money is give back.
I would buy a ton of sports equipment and give it to kids who need it.
I would give some of it to my grandma and grandpa because they have a trucking company and they have to pay for their gas and to get the trucks around, and I would give some to my mom and dad because my dad and my sister are moving into a new house and we have to fix it a lot.
And so do you know how much $1 billion is?
No.
Too much to count, right? Yes. And then if you had a large amount of money, which is $1 billion, what would you do with it?
I would give some to charity, and I would spend some for myself for sports equipment.
I really miss my aunt, so I wish I could, I would buy a plane ticket to go to Florida to meet her.
With the drawing being later tonight, the jackpot is sure to continue growing.
When Santa gets gifts wrong, people are quick to spend them or send them back. Fox Business Network's David Asman has this story and more coming up on Fox Means Business.
Inflation is still high, but continues to cool off a bit. Consumer prices jumping 6.5% in December from the same time a year ago, and they dropped 0.1% from the previous month. The cost for things like food, shelter, and heating fuels went up again, while things like gasoline and used vehicles came down. Investors like the inflation news. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ all closed higher on Thursday. Many hope that moderating consumer prices will mean the Federal Reserve will slow down on interest rate hikes. A lot of bosses are on edge about their business. A new survey of CEOs by the Conference Board shows a recession and economic downturn is their biggest concern in 2023. In fact, 60% don't think stronger economic growth will return anytime soon. Well, people wasted little time in returning their unwanted holiday gifts. A new report by the company EndShift says December 28th was the most popular day for people to begin the process of returning unwanted presents. But on a humorous note, some people even began sending things back on Christmas Day itself. Can you imagine? That's business. I'm David Asman.
I can imagine. Here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Thank you very much. Your full weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater area. All right, here we go. We do have winter storm warnings up until about 1 o'clock later this afternoon, being indicated by these areas indicated into pink because of some additional snowfall that could take place, and the slippery roads as we could see some frozen precipitation as we transition from snow over to rain. And that's why we do also have winter weather advisories up for some areas until later this morning, and other areas not under anything as we're switching over to plain old rain. But we're also watching some flooding issues taking place. We have aerial flood watches in effect until later this afternoon, with gale warnings lasting until later this evening as gusty winds on top of the precipitation will continue to exist. Here's a look at the radar right now. Look at all the active weather currently taking place right now. Most of us have switched over to mainly rain, but it's farther out towards the north. We have a little bit of other frozen precipitation and eventually some snow. Northern parts of the state seeing a good amount of snow at this point. We'll throw the radar into motion. It's really gotten going over the last little while. And of course, the darker the shade of blue is, that's the heavier the snow. Of course, farther down toward the south, some decent rainfall also taking place with inches of rainfall possible before we're all finished up. As we're watching this area, low pressure located right about in here, track off towards the east. It'll hang around for a while too, because we'll catch a few breaks, but more active weather could possibly move in the extended forecast period. So Futurecast showing this rain continuing to move through today with some breaks developing during the afternoon and evening time frame, so it won't be raining all the time. By tomorrow morning, though, we may have to watch for a little bit of precipitation. This model doesn't quite show it as well. We'll have to watch for a little bit more of a wintry mix of precipitation. I'll try to move back on shore from time to time. It tries to show it just a bit, but as we head towards Saturday morning, a wintry mix could take place yet again. But otherwise, most of Saturday will be mostly cloudy, maybe a few breaks in the clouds from time to time. But this is kind of the general idea that we're going to be watching out for. Another wave of energy looks to move in as we head towards Sunday night. A little bit of a wintry mix possible with that. Lasting through at least Monday, I'm kind of worried about some other frozen precipitation falling here too, so roads may be slippery as we head towards Monday morning and lasting through Monday night into Tuesday before that wave moves out of here as we head towards Tuesday morning. So again, additional rainfall looks a little bit like this, an additional half-inch to an inch of rain on top of what we've already received before we're all finished up. This kind of counts any melted down snow at this point as well. And any additional snowfall will mainly be in the northern ends of the state where inches of snow could fall there. But most of us just about done with temperatures that are well above freezing at this point. Wave heights are well up there as well, ranging from around 10 to 11 feet according to the buoys out there. So this is why gale warnings are currently in effect. Forecast for today, 50 degrees, rain likely, areas of dense fog, south wind gusting up to around 30 miles per hour at times. 28 degrees tonight, rain, freezing rain, sleet, snow, and fog on the way. North wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 33 degrees, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow again. North wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Ansley Moore. We're partly cloudy on Sunday with highs in the upper 20s, lower 30s, Martin Luther King Day with the wintry mix now moving in. We keep that wintry mix going on Tuesday, highs in the mid-30s.
Bob's presents 2023 Furniture Resolutions. Resolution number 44, exercise more. Exercise your right to snooze in a gorgeous bedroom at an affordable price like my Fusion two-tone bedroom. Exercise your right to style with 2 fantastic color options, sleek storage, and thoughtful finishes. Exercise your right to snuggle in bed with a book with my optional bookcase headboard and cozy reading light. Phew, that was a lot of exercising. Bob's Discount Furniture. Furniture solutions to your resolutions.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, watch out. Watch out. The insurance company's job is to do what's best for them, not you. Watch out. If you wait too long to hire a lawyer, it may hurt your case.
Don't trust that insurance company after your accident. You could miss out on a lot of money. Call the Twos and we'll watch out for you.
Lowry and Associates watched out for me and got me $150,000.
Call the Twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Napa knows how to stay warm. And with 29 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts has just what you need to prepare for any outdoor activity. Lightweight, durable, and designed for comfort, Milwaukee's heat-on-demand jackets and hoodies are the perfect cold weather gear. No matter the job, no matter the weather, you'll be ready for anything. And while you're here, sign up for Napa Rewards. You'll save more each time you shop. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen, girl.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
You have something magical happening.
What?
We're gonna do the work.
Love this.
I'm gonna make you filthy rich.
New Shark Tank tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Lisa Marie Presley, the only child of Elvis Presley, has died. On Thursday morning, Presley was rushed to the hospital after suffering a cardiac arrest at her home in Calabasas, California. Paramedics had performed CPR and brought her to the hospital. The 54-year-old singer had just attended the Golden Globes award ceremony on Tuesday. She was there to celebrate Austin Butler's award for playing her father in the film Elvis. Thursday evening, her mother, Priscilla Presley, confirmed her daughter had died. Is a bottle of wine from ancient Rome still drinkable? Museum officials say maybe. The Spire wine bottle at the Historic Museum of Palatin in Germany, is believed to be the oldest bottle of wine in the world, dating back to the 4th century. A solidified blob of oil and wax on top of the bottle have kept the wine sealed throughout history. While most of the contents inside appear to be solid, museum officials say there's still a sip or two of liquid that is likely not spoiled. The museum says the taste might resemble, quote, tasteless chewing gum. I'm not sure if I want to trust them on that one. Well, Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. We will continue streaming on Fox 22. Have a great Friday.
Having a floor that fits your lifestyle is something we take for granted. It's not just about picking the right style and color, it's about so much more. Whether you live near the water, in the city, in the woods, have pets, or even kids. Here at Don DeKel Maine Wood Floors, we will help you choose a floor that you'll not only love, but a floor that will last. With quality name brands like Maine Traditions, Hallmark, Fusion, and so much more. Buy from the best, forget the rest with Don DeKel Maine Wood Floors.
Mad Cat & Company in the North Brewer Shopping Plaza invites you to host your next event with us. We are much more than just a bar. Our event room is designed to host any type of event, formal or casual. Family gatherings, birthday parties, corporate parties, club meetings, fundraisers, or weddings and receptions. We've got you covered. Our open floor plan can adequately seat 100 or more people, and we can assist you with food, drinks, and entertainment as well. Call or visit our website today.
We can go into a room and have absolutely